Hey everybody, Dave here. I hope you're having an awesome day. So I was cleaning up my office, trying to get things organized, and I found this Incredible Hulk that I had actually started maybe like 2 years ago. I was just going to do a repaint on it, but just never finished it. And while I was also cleaning out, I found in my bits box this Homer Simpson head, and I can't get over like how awesome and funny this would actually be to do a hulked out Homer Simpson. So come on, let's do it.
Boys.
Alright, I need to pop this head off here, so it should come off pretty easily. I actually pulled it off a couple times already, so just muscle this guy off. There it is. Looks good. And here's the little Homer head. And I found this yellow spray paint in my garage. It looks to be dead on, so I'm hoping that this will make my life easy. So let's go spray paint this. Now the yellow is really translucent, so I gave it a coat of yellow, but the green is showing through. So I think I'm going to go ahead and prime it with a white and then redo that. This is just a Rust-Oleum White Plus primer, so once I get a full coat on this, the yellow should lay down really nicely on it. Okay, so here's where I'm at. I sprayed it yellow, but the yellow was not quite right. It was off. It didn't have enough orange in it. So then I thought, well, maybe I could take this orange and do some washes over it, and it turned out too orange. And the wash is kind of weird. It just, the acrylic paint brushing on is not so hot. So I went to, I have a Warhammer store close by, and I actually purchased this Citadel Flash Gets Yellow, and I think that looks really great. So this is the airbrush thinned down version, so I'm going to airbrush this on the body. And while I was there, I went ahead and grabbed this blue for his pants. I think that's going to work out pretty nice. I might have to darken this up just a touch, but I think that's going to work, so let's get at it. Here I am just loading up the airbrush. I don't do a ton of airbrushing, so this is always a little challenge for me, but this color worked out really nice. Alright, so I am really liking this paint for the match of Homer. It looks a little green in the light here. Let me switch through my lights, but yeah, that works okay. But it looks really good in person. So, but as I'm painting it, I need to do a couple of thin coats, and there's some areas in here that are kind of hard to get to. And I was noticing as I was just kind of playing with it, and this piece here is broken, like pulling open. So I need to examine that. So let's open this thing up and see what we got. Alright, gotcha, Hulk. Okay, took that apart. Little arms come out. This is actually going to work out pretty great for me because these areas that are still green that I wasn't able to hit, I'll be able to repaint those, including like this upper back. I'm just going to take some spray paint and spray that, and that should work out pretty nice. And yep, there is that little broken stem. I'm going to go ahead and glue that back together, and this will work out nice because I'm going to be able to work on the head without the whole body. A little freebie pro tip, not original to me: take a little cap and keep your screws organized. Alright, so I am just super gluing this little piece here. Gonna hold that in place. Now because this is hidden on the inside and I want to make sure that it doesn't break again, I'm gonna add a little extra glue, take some baking soda, and that should help just support that structure a little bit more. So when I put it all back together, it doesn't bust apart. So I think that's gonna work out pretty great. Alright, now gotta get this little head to work, so pinch that off. Don't! Oh, nice. And this is a little scary part, but taking the Dremel and hacking off the top of the head here so I can fit these together, and it's a little long. The whole neck is really tall, so I need to trim this down. I really hate doing this because if I mess this up, I'm kind of sunk, but I just go for it, and make sure to wear some safety goggles because this was shooting hot plastic all over me. Sand this thing down. I did get a pin vise. Woohoo! I don't have to drill holes with my X-Acto knife, so I'm just kind of drilling some holes here. You can see in the back I got my little circle template, and I was able to line up and find the perfect center. And then I had to bring out the large drill, slide a magnet right in, and that's going to work out really nice for a head that can swivel. Got my Magic Sculpt. It's a 2-part epoxy. Mix that stuff up really good. It looks like a piece of old chewing gum, and I just tucked it underneath and kind of just smashed it around flat, smoothed it out, stuck the magnet, and kind of just held it and push that thing in there, let that dry, and that'll work out pretty nice. While that head is drying, go ahead and paint the pants here. Do some really careful detail work. Did a couple coats of this, and at the end looks pretty good. I think I'm going to do one more coat just to cover up some of those little bits of yellow peeking through. Okay, so I can't do just a simple head swap. I gotta up my game a little bit, right? So I have purchased a donut, and what I want to do is have him ripping the donut in half, like he's hulked out and he's like, rah, and ripped the donut. So I actually went and purchased a donut so I can break it in half, and I can kind of see the different textures in there because I'm going to try and sculpt this out of clay. So let's get started on that.
So I'm getting a lot more comfortable with my sculpting. So maybe I am a sculptor now. But yeah, anyways, I'm making a little armature here. Take some Sculpey and just covering the donut. It looks a little rough right now, but I'll keep working on that, smooth it out, put some texture on there so it looks like the donut was ripped in half. And that looks pretty great. Now, I've got to figure out how to get him to hold this. I think I'm going to cut the fingers off. And once I have the fingers cut off, I will be able to kind of press that into the donut and then sculpt some fingers. So I think that's what I'm going to try. Now, I tried a couple of different things. As I'm working here, the first sculpt, the fingers actually went into the donut. And then I'll go ahead and bake that. Then I thought, I'm going to buy this liquid polymer clay. It's going to be really cool, and it went south on me really quick. It just gooped and oozed all over the place. So let's wipe that off and do this the old-fashioned way. Just re-sculpt some clay there. And because I did that, the fingers looked weird. They didn't quite work, so I had to re-sculpt the fingers. But I think in the end, it actually worked out a little bit cooler. So let's throw some sprinkles on here. I'll bake that up again. And while that's baking, I'm just going to make the base for this guy. So I took some 60 grit sandpaper, some tacky glue, glued this down, some masking tape, and I'm just taping off kind of like some yellow stripes in the road so it looks like maybe he walked up to a donut shop and ripped off the donut. So painting the donut brown here. That's definitely going to take a couple coats, but that's looking really good. Start painting the frosting, the classic Homer Simpson bright pink, and paint on those sprinkles. This is looking really great. I think we're just about ready to wrap this thing up, so let's call this one good. Okay, that was a really fun build. It was a little on the goofy side, but sometimes you got to do it. So here he is. His head pops off, magnetic, so you can look around. So let's take some turnaround shots of this. And if you like it, hit that like, subscribe, notification, all that fun stuff. And as always, it's a great day to be a toy nerd.